Welcome back to our Python Basics series. Today, we're going to be talking about integers. Integers are one of the easiest data types to use, so this video is going to be pretty quick, but you're going to find yourself using them a lot, so let's take a look.
All right, we're back in Visual Studio Code. As a reminder, an integer is a whole number, positive or negative or zero, that doesn't have decimals and can have any length. There is no maximum integer value. Assigning an integer to a variable is very similar to assigning a string to a variable. The only difference is in the syntax. Let's go ahead and create our first variable and call it x and set it equal to 27. As you can see, we do not need quotes around the outside like we had with the string. We simply type the number. Just like with strings, we have the capability of both printing x and printing the type of x. If we were to run this now, we can see that it outputs 27, which is our integer of x, and we can see that it is an integer. Now, if we wanted to switch x to a negative number, you just have to put a minus sign in front of the integer. If we come down here and run it again, now we can see that x is equal to negative 27, and yes, it's still an integer. We can also use operators with integers. As a reminder, this series does have an entire video covering operators, but for now, we can just use the most basic one. If we come up here and comment out this code and create two variables, we'll say x equals 15 and y equals 5. We can create a new variable called z and set it equal to x plus y. So what that's doing is it's taking the x variable, which is 15, and the y variable, which is 5, and adding them together and then setting it equal to the variable z. Now if we come down here and we print z, we can go ahead and run it, and you can see that the value is 20. The int function returns an integer object constructed from a number or string, and it will return 0 if no arguments are given. We can come into our code and demonstrate this. Let's create a variable named x and set it equal to an integer using the int function. The int function takes either a number or a string and converts it to an integer. So if we put in 10 and printed out x, as well as the type of x, we can go ahead and run it, and we can see that it's 10 and it's an integer. Now, if we came back up here and we converted this 10 into a string instead, you'll see that the function is still returning 10 and saying it's an integer. Using the built-in function int, we do have an optional parameter called base. We can create a variable called x and set it equal to an int of a string of a binary number and set the base equal to 2. If we print x, that's going to return our base 10 value for this binary number. So as you can see, it returned 22, which is the base 10 value of 10110. The only other thing I wanted to talk about for this episode was how do we handle large numbers. If we come into our code and created a new variable but set it equal to a super large number like 1 million, sometimes it gets hard to keep track of all the zeros. Python will not allow you to use commas, but what you can do is separate these by underscores so that it makes it more legible. This isn't required, but if we set y equal to 1 million as well, you'll see that both x and y are the exact same. We'll run this code just so you can see. As you can see, when we print x and y, they're both set to 1 million the exact same way. However, this one's just a little more legible in case you ever want to use it. For now, this is really all you need to know for using integers. Be sure you check out the next video, which is about floats. Thank you for watching, and please like, comment, share, and subscribe.